Today's lesson is Chinese characters through an etymological approach. So, what is etymology? It is the science dealing with the origin and development of words. Words are reduced to their basic components to understand its true meaning. Pretty self-explanatory. The 1,000-word classic. This is the piece that we are going to be studying. So, why we're studying this? In Chinese, it's called 千字文. Because in Chinese, if you know about 300 words, you're somewhat conversational. Your conversation is going to be pretty broken, though. And at 1,200 words, you're fluent enough to hold a casual conversation. By fluent, I mean like in quotations fluent. Still, you'll be still kind of broken, but at least they'll be able to understand you a little bit more and get the basic understanding out. And
When
then
am I
when
not
you.
broken?
Sorry, what?
Haha, when am I not broken?
Okay, at 2,500 words, you, on top of being able to be understood by others, you will have the ability to express mostly anything, including like emotions, descriptions, and stuff like that. So in addition to the Tianzi it was used. So basically, it is an essay or a classic or a poem, whatever you want to call it, that has 1,000 unique characters. So if you go through all of this, then by default you will know 1,000 characters. And in the traditional sense, there would have been no repetitions. But in the more modern way of writing, then there would be only a few repetitions of words. But this will be kind of a really basic place to start. And in China, since this has many different characters, it was available in many versions. It was printed cheaply and available to all. So when a student had memorized this, in addition to two other classics, they would recognize and pronounce, though not necessarily write or understand the meaning of roughly 2,000 characters. But that's why we're going through an etymology approach, so that we understand the meaning and how to write them. Since Chinese did not use an alphabet, this was an effective and although time-consuming way of giving a quote-unquote crash course in character recognition before going on to understanding text and written characters. That is why we are learning it. Here are some resources that I use for my slides. If it doesn't have a reference, then it comes from one of these sources. And if my slide has additional resources, it will be listed in the footnotes. So I'll make this publicly available too. So background, information, and pronunciation. So what is Pinyin? So there's the written version with the characters, and also a written version with letters like we know them. So what is Pinyin? Chinese is not a phonetic language. The pronunciation is not related to the writing of Chinese words. Pinyin is a special system created for people to learn Mandarin pronunciation. Pinyin transcribes the Chinese characters so people can pronounce it. It may be used as an input method to enter Chinese characters into computers or electronics as well. The writing of Pinyin is similar to English alphabet. You can pronounce every single sound out in Chinese using Pinyin. However, you should be aware that the Chinese pronunciation and spelling of Pinyin letters are different from English letters. The sounds which the letters of Pinyin represent do not correspond exactly to the sounds that the letters of English represent. So you can't pronounce Pinyin as if they were English. So in this figure here, we have the Chinese character and the pinyin on top. So the entire thing will be a syllable. The first letter will be the initial sound, and the letters following it will be the final sound with the tone indicated as well on one of the vowels. So pronunciation. So there are a total of 4, although you could say 5, but mainly 4 intonations in Mandarin language. So the first one is a high and level sound, naturally prolonged, and it will be written and indicated with a horizontal line on top of one of the vowels that will have the intonation. So, for example, ma, which is like mom, and the second one is a rising tone from low to high, just like a pitch in a question, with a rising diagonal to indicate it. So you would say this as ma, and which is and the third intonation will be first falling and then going up again. So it's a curved dipping line. So like a little carrot thing, upside down carrot that we use in the English. So and this way will be pronounced ma, which is horse. And the fourth one is a tone falling, which starts out very high and falls short and strong. So a dropping horizontal line. So this one would be ma, which is curse. And the fifth one, though we don't really talk about it that much, is pronounced very light and quick. So when we refer to the 4 intonations, we refer to this, but we added on the fifth so that we are more, we understand a little bit more. So this one will have no tone mark, will just be ma. So it's like kind of like when you add it onto the end of a sentence to demonstrate that it's a question or something like that. So you can see how intonation is very, very important in the Chinese Mandarin language. Okay? Second of all, writing, how to write it. So the basic strokes of Chinese characters, when you encounter characters, usually they are made up of basic characters. So in this link, you can find how to write them. And I have included as well other great resources for writing. And we'll also talk about in this lesson, in general, the evolution of Chinese script, so we can see how Chinese characters came about. And that is the link I use. So just an overview is that in timeline, not necessarily that in a specific chronological order, but it's kind of chronological, but sometimes they overlap. So first of all, it starts off with the Oracle Bone script. It was highly pictographic, and basically they would write things on like bones and stuff. And the second would be the Bronze script, and it traces back to the late Shang dynasty, early Western Zhou, BCE 1000-ish to 700-ish period. And they use a more graphic type of script, and you would write them on metal objects like tools, weapons, and utensils. And then after that, new, cleaner, and standardized scripts would be introduced in the Qin dynasty, which is around 200 BCE. So before the Qin dynasty, there was no standardized script, so there was many ways that you could have written the same character. And then later on they started to use a small seal script, which was standardized. Section 1. This is our first lesson, and the first 8 characters of the 1,000-character classic would be these 4, and you would pronounce it 天地玄黄, 宇宙洪荒. And what does that mean? It means heaven is dark, earth is golden, the cosmos is vast and diffuse. So, in a more detailed explanation, the first group of 8 set the cosmological scene. Many translate Huang as yellow, but golden has a more positive associations in China. The one Chinese creation myth is that the heavens and all that is subtle and refined separated from the earth, all that is base and impure. Humans inhabit the thin space in between. And the first word, we'll go through 4 today, and then we'll go through in sets of 4. So the first word is tian. So briefly, it's a large man that stands facing front with his head highlighted. The original meaning is the human head because the sky and the head are both high, so it means sky. And a more detailed explanation, adding on to what I just said, the sky is similar to the supreme feature of the human head. So that is why the sky is represented by this character. So the different parts that make it up is, like we talked about, the person who is big and the one on top of his head. Or the line that shows it. So broken down, 人 is person. And then you add a line to that, it becomes 大, which is big. And then 一 is 1. And that is how you would write the Chinese character. Now let's look at the history of it. So, Oracle bone script, 甲骨字. And then 金字, which is the bronze. And then 小篆 is the small script. And Fanti is the traditional, and Jianti is simplified. So, like, you can see visually that it makes sense. It's a person with a head, big head. And then since it was difficult to write the box or the circle for the head, they started using lines. So that's how it became 2 lines. So some common phrases that we have in decent order of how often they are used. 今天, which is today. 明天, tomorrow. 昨天, yesterday. 每天, every day. 天气, which is the weather. 那天, that day. 当天, on that day. 聊天, to chat. Let me know if I need to go slower as well. And we'll go through more examples, common phrases. 天使, which is angel. 天天, every day. 冬天, winter. 天堂, paradise. 老天, God. And sometimes they would say this as 老天爷, which is still the same meaning. 天下, the land under heaven. 夏天, which is summer. 整天, all day long. It's like and then Tianjin is a municipality in the northeast of China. 天空, sky. 白天, daytime. Literally translated means the white day. 天才, which is talent. or you could also translate that as God-given talent. So 天赋, which is gift, yeah, which is basically God-given talent. 天生, nature, you were born this way. From the very beginning of the day, you were born this way. 第二天, the next day. 春天, which is spring season, or spring.
I'm here now.
Hello. Example sentences.
Oh god, Danya.
如果天气好，我们就出去散散步。We will go out for a walk, weather permitting. Basically, the way that the sentence is structured, it literally translated is if the weather is good, we will go out and take a walk. 天, what does 天 mean again? It means sky. So I'll say it again. 如果天气好，我们就出去散散步。Now the second example. 你们认为这种好天气能持久稳定下来吗？ Which is, do you think this fine weather has come to stay or will stay a while? 你认为这种好天气能持久稳定下来吗？
Oh my god, Mando's so hard. Today's words.
And the third example is 在新年那天，他请他们吃了一顿好饭。He treated them to a good dinner on New Year's Day. Literally translated is on New Year's that day, he treated them to eat something tasty. Or eat one meal that is tasty. So I'll say it one more time. 在新年那天，他请他们吃了一顿好饭。
Can you say the middle part again? How do you say that? The touching. How do you say the middle part again? The touching. Tamen. I don't know how to say it. Fucking Mando pronunciations.
So the middle example? Or
No,
the last one?
the last example.
Okay.
The middle part. The
在新年那天，他请他们吃了一顿好饭。Should I go slower?
Yeah, just a bit slower.
Okay, 在新年那天，新年
how do you pronounce it?
新年
新
新 It's more like an an S 新年 but not like sin. It's like 新 Yeah.
That's like a little bit confusing. Hold on. Not you, just like the word itself. 新
Yeah. Pretty good.
千
Like a more like your teeth are together. 新 like your teeth don't go apart. It
Yeah. My teeth are together. S-
心
Say it again.
心
Xian,
心.
xian,
There you
What
go.
if,
That was really good.
what
xian.
if I don't have teeth? What can I do then?
I don't know. God help you.
Yeah, true. How do people without teeth pronounce this?
Am I a lost cause? Will I not be able to communicate in China because I don't have teeth?
Xian,
And you're
Oh,
xian,
really?
communicating fine in English. You'll be fine.
xian, 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 zai, zai, tian,
在. So it's more like you
zai,
end with like a lower
zai,
在.
zai, zai,
Yeah,
zai,
there.
zai, zai. I fucking hate the second word. I can't pronounce it. Zai, what's like the? Can you say the second word again? Just
心
actually wait. Say it together. Say it together.
在心.
Okay, 在见 help me. 在
We can
见
start slow. You don't have to get it perfect. You know, the more you.
Yeah. Dude, Chinese is a struggle. Holy, oh my goodness.
新年 is New Year's.
Oh, okay. 今年
新年.
今年
It sounds you're making more of like a J sound when you're saying the second word.
Can you say the second part again?
新年.
Nian,
Yeah.
nian,
Yeah.
nian. Okay. 今年
Mhm.
Holy cow.
那天, which is that day.
哪天
Na. So it's more
Ah,
you. Yeah,
nah,
the A goes downwards with
nah,
intonation.
哪天
Na. You don't go back
那
up. You just go straight down.
哪天
Na tian.
哪天
There you go.
Yeah, like it's like these ups and downs are like essential for me. Like what needs to be pronounced high or low. Like that's like what I struggle with like a
Yeah.
lot,
I think
along with certain pronunciations.
you missed it, but I'll go back to it. It's this slide. You see it now?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
So there's 4, and I think in
Bruh.
Cantonese there's like 9, no?
I don't know. There's probably there's like a
Like
lot in Kanto. Like
9 to 15.
there's a lot in Kanto, but that's because I'm purely used to it.
Yeah.
How how much is there for like English?
I
Isn't
don't
there
know. It
like
depends on English. It's
I
more
didn't
like the
I didn't
way
ma-
you say things, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
true.
It's like, you can say things and it can mean different things based on how you say it. Like for example, like I don't know. Like wow or like wow, you know?
Yeah. Got you. Hold on. So high and level sound, natural, prolonged. How would you say that?
Ma,
Ma, ma,
ma.
ma.
Mhm.
Okay. Rising tone from low to high. Ma, like that?
Ma.
Ma?
Mhm. So let's see how the A goes up, like down to up.
Yeah.
Ma,
Ma,
ma.
ma, ma.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Okay. First falling and then going up again.
Ma.
Ma.
Mhm.
Uh. Total falling tone, which starts out very high and falls short and strong.
Ma.
Ma.
Yeah.
Ma. Pronounced very quick, very light and quick. Ma. It's just ma?
Yeah.
Ah.
Right. So each word would have a different meaning. It's a different entire word, right? So the first one is mom, ma. Second one is I think it's hemp or something. Ma or some form of vegetation. And the third one is ma, which is horse.
Yeah. That's actually what it is in Kanto. It's just ma.
And the fourth one is ma, which is curse. Or, like, yeah, you curse.
Ma.
Wait, horse? Yes, horse.
Ma.
Yeah, in English, the different tones are used to change the meaning of an entire word. Whereas, because it's the same word, but in Chinese, it's a different word. So if you pronounce it wrong, then you may be doomed. A different meaning would go across. But mostly, if you, if like, they would probably understand what you're trying to say, but it might take a bit. So you could
But
end up
like,
calling mom a horse, potentially. But if you say it within like a context or like a sentence, people would typically understand you. And then ma is kind of like you add it at the end of the sentence to ask a question or something. Are we good?
yeah.
Okay, we'll go back. Do you want to try saying the sentence again?
No, I'll just keep listening.
You'll keep listening.
Yeah. Maybe like, yeah, I don't want to just stop the lesson.
Oh, you're doing fine.
Yeah, Chinese is a struggle, boys. That's all I'm saying.
Every now and then I go get takeout from the local Chinese store, and every time I go, instead of saying fried rice, because the waiter says fried rye, I end up saying fried rye too. But it's like I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just because she says fried rye, I say fried rye, and here I am.
Having a fried rice.
And
Do
I
you want
have
the fried
beef fried. I want beef fried rye, and then the lady thinks I'm being racist, but I'm not being racist. It's just that's how she said it, and then for some reason my brain just inputs that as the word. It's weird.
want the fried rice?
Uncle Roger, give me fried rye.
Okay, so the second word is di. Do you want to try it?
D.
Yeah,
D.
there you go. And so, what it means,
These
translation.
nuts. Sorry. The
Wait,
opportunity.
what'd you say?
No.
Okay,
Ignore it.
okay, I'll rewind it at some point. Translation is earth, soil, ground, a place, a locality, territory, position, also position in court, situation, region, field, background. It basically, there's a lot of ways that you can use this word.
Tanya, come on, bro.
And so it's made up of 土, which is dirt, and
Yo,
yeah,
yo,
which means
what?
also two.
I think Danya wants to know how to pick up Chinese girls. So how's like the pickup joke for Chinese people?
I don't know, you
What
gotta
what
ask
what
Luhan that.
what's the pickup phrases in Chinese?
Uh, Pickup phrases? I never got
Yeah.
picked up, so I
Oh
don't know.
no.
Like in Chinese
Okay,
is what I
you know
meant.
how okay in like for English people there's like Netflix and chill, right? And then Koreans there's like you want to go have like ramen at my place.
Uh
What
huh.
would Chinese be?
I can ask my mom.
Yeah, ask her. I'm
Like
curious.
right now or later. I'll ask her
Yeah,
later.
do it. I'm so
Okay, I'll
curious.
do it later.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think she went to
curious.
pick up my sister. I'll ask her
Okay.
later.
Okay.
I don't know any Chinese. I'm only half, and I did not see my mom most of my life, so don't know any Chinese.
And it can also be pronounced de. So very rarely, but it can be used in that context too. From the sound earth and also the original meaning is the earth, which is opposite to heaven. At the beginning of the division of vitality, the light and clear yang is sky, the heavy turbid yin is earth, and all things are displayed. So, how it came to be is we'll break it up into parts. We'll first look at tu. So, 甲骨字, Orca
Oh
bone
god,
script.
加格子
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
加格子
甲,甲.
加格子
So it's like,
加
yeah, it goes down
加格子
and up.
加
骨,
加果
字,
子
字.
字
Yeah, there
加
you go.
果子 Chinese What? Up. So
甲,
加
mm-hmm.
加果子
字.
字
Yeah.
加果子 Okay.
So you can see that it looks like a little thing on top of the earth.
Looks like a fish with like kind of.
So detailed is the inscriptions of Jia and Jin resemble the shape of clods piled up on the ground. The small dots are like soil particles. The original meaning is a mound, which is extended to indicate land. It is said that it is like offering sacrifices to the gods of the land, that is, later community. In ancient times, the earth was sealed and the stone was set up to worship the gods of the land. Now you can kind of visualize that now, right?
Yeah.
Looks like earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so tu is basically like dirt or like earth. And the second part is ye, which means also and too. So, detailed explanation is that in the Jinwen or Jinzi shows breath from exhale coming out of the mouth with a curved vertical stroke. So the top part that we see with the little U shape with the line in it is the mouth, and then there's breath coming out of your mouth.
Okay.
This word also is created to express the modal particle with a pause. In addition, so Jinwen used this as an auxiliary word. Differentiation of one word can be used in different contexts. In addition, ye and ta, meaning it, are often confused in ancient languages because of the same ancient pronunciation. The word also was mainly used, or ye, was mainly used as a modal particle at the end of a sentence in later generation. In addition, the word also can be used in a sentence as a pause in a tone, which is passed on to the following conjunctions. Modern Chinese goes a step further and uses the word ye flexibly. So it'll come up a lot usually.
Okay.
Right? So you kind of see how it looks like what it actually was trying to represent, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, later they replaced like the curved mouth with like the lines, right? And you see that now.
Yeah.
And so the history of D, dirt, the earth, ground, or many different meanings in English, is that, well, to be honest, I don't know 100% how like the word came to be, because it has like if you look at like the jinzi, it like has a lot of parts to it. So I don't know like the 100% like true etymology of the character, but at least we understand that it has to do with the dirt and sounding like ta, right? So it's like, or yeah, or something like that. I don't know. I did my best, but yeah, this is how it came to be.
Interesting. I
Because
see. I
like in the
see.
Li Shu Tong, like which is like another way of writing, like you can actually see like the tu and the ye together, right?
Wait, say that again?
In like the fourth, like the
Yeah.
fourth picture, we see that it's like tu and ye together, right? Which is the makeup of the word, right? We see.
Yeah.
So also like dirt, but in a more broader context, right?
Okay.